Well, okay. Michael here. And today we just want to complete Job 30 as we're going to go from verse 15 to 31. And I'd just like to incorporate Matthew Hendricks' commentary on that. And he says, Job complains a great deal. Harboring hard thoughts of God was the sin which did at this time most easily beset Job. When inward temptations join with outward calamities, the soul is hurried as in a tempest, and is filled with confusion. But woe be to those who really have God for an enemy. Compared with the awful state of ungodly men, what are all outward or even inward temporal afflictions? There is something with which Job comforts himself, yet it is but a little. He foresees that death will be the end of all his troubles. God's wrath might bring him to death, but his soul would be safe and happy in the world of spirits. If none pity us, yet our God who corrects pities us, even as a father pitieth his own children. And let us look more to the things of eternity. Then the believer will cease from mourning and joyfully praise redeeming love. So let's go ahead and read those verses from 15 to 30. Terrors are turned upon me. They pursue my soul as the wind, and my welfare passeth away as a cloud. And now my soul is poured out upon me. The days of affliction have taken hold upon me. My bones are pierced in me in the night season, and my sinews take no rest. But the great force of my disease is my garment changed. It bindeth me about as the collar of my coat. He hath cast me into the mire, and I am become like dust and ashes. I cry unto thee, and thou doest not hear me. I stand up, and thou regardest me not. Thou art become cruel to me. With thy strong hand thou opposest thyself against me. Thou liftest me up to the wind, thou causest me to ride upon it, and dissolveth my substance. For I know that thou wilt bring me to death, and to the house appointed for all living. Howbeit he will not stretch out his hand to the grave, though they cry in his destruction. Did not I weep for him that was in trouble? Was not my soul grieved for the poor? When I looked for good, then evil came unto me, and when I waited for light, there came darkness. My bowels boiled and rested not. The days of affliction prevented me. I went mourning without the sun. I stood up and I cried in the congregation. I am a brother of dragons and a companion to owls. My skin is black upon me, and my bones are burned with heat. My harp also is turned to mourning. My harp also is turned to mourning, and my organ into the voice of them that weep. Yes, 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 yes. um, Enduring Word has some commentary, and the verse that says, Have I not wept for him who is in trouble? Has not my soul grieved for the poor? Job wondered why God did not treat him with the same kindness he had often shown to others. It is impossible to read this section without feeling that protest which was approaching revolt in the soul of this man. He did definitely charge God with cruelty, and his questions, did I not weep for him that was in trouble? Was not not my soul grieved for the needy? He was contrasting God's attitude towards him with his own attitudes towards suffering men in the days of his prosperity and strength. The sensitive soul of Job was another demonstration of his godliness, and appropriate for any servant of God. I know that a man in the ministry who cannot feel had much better resign his office. We have heard some hold forth the doctrines of grace as if they were a nauseous medicine, and men were to be forced to drink thereof by hard words and violent abuse. We have always thought that such men did more hurt than good, for while seeking to vindicate the letter, they evidently missed the spirit of the faith once delivered unto the saints. Cold and impassive are some of our divines. They utter truth as though it was no concern of theirs, whether man received it or not. To such men, heaven and hell, death and eternity, are mere themes for oratory, but not subjects for emotion. The last bit of commentary we have is where he talks about, my heart is in turmoil and cannot rest. Perhaps Job tried to just take it easy and not get so troubled over his problems. But for him it was impossible. His physical and spiritual agony was more than it seemed he could bear, or his friends could relate to. By my mournful and continual cry, I resemble the jackals or hyenas to the daughters of howling, generally understood to be the ostrich, for both the jackal and the female ostrich are remarkable for their mournful cry and for their attachment to desolate places. Yeah, Job 30th, in conclusion, it was rough with him. Physically, his pustules and all his ache and mental torment, not feeling yet the visitation of God, who sat high and looked low and watched as Job endured the hedge that was lowered about him. Well, praise be to God that we can get this account from Job, an experience that many of us have fleeting experiences of, sometimes more deep core than at other times. Sometimes we realize that if we're holding on by a mere thread. But knowing that most times we're not even holding on. It's just His grace that's carrying us. Because in our flesh, our strength and our will have reached a point where we would welcome transitioning to the spiritual heaven. Wow, wow, wow. I suspect it gets better. Hope you enjoyed then. Job chapter 30. Michael here declaring, Jesus is Lord. Until next time.